The key feature of the DOSTAL DOSY and the software DOSY tool is to titrate. Also in the window Titration, you find the upper menu where you can choose between dosage and cleaning, for example, and the lower navigation window where you can choose between piston 1, piston 2 and piston 3. Piston 3 is called mixing in this case, and on the left side you have the volumetric bar. In the window you have the option to titrate either manually or automatically. At the moment the manual titration window is open. There you have the option to choose the volume per step that you want and to choose the total volume that you want to titrate. Let's start by adjusting the volume that we want to titrate per step. This tells us how much volume we want to deliver in a single event. Then we change the volume that we want to deliver at all, in this case 10 microliters, and we want to make sure that the solution in which we titrate is well mixed, so we click on mixing. In this case you can also adjust the mixing. 3 times mixing is a good start for everything. Since the DOSTAL DOSY mixes via resuspension that you know from your manual pipettes, 3 times resuspending is a very good way to make sure that everything is well mixed. Now everything is set up and we can press go to make our first titration step of 1 microliter as we have programmed it before. Following the addition of 1 microliter there will be mixing and your first titration step is finished. This can be also seen by looking at the amount of steps to be titrated. This should have been diminished from 10 to 9 as you see here. Besides a manual titration, you can also do an automatic titration. Automatic titration is a more sophisticated application within the DOSY tool. This is because the automatic titration allows you to do one titration step after the other without having to press all the time go as you would have to do with the manual titration. Going back to the automatic titration, you see the same fields as you have seen for the manual titration, namely the volume per step field. Here we put in 1 microliter as we have done for the manual titration. Then we have a total volume field, just as we have had for the manual titration. Here we will put in 10 microliters. And finally there is a new option called time in between each step. This is the time that the titrator has in between each addition step. That allows other machines, measuring devices such as photospectrometers or fluorescence spectrometers, to do the measurements while the DOSTAL DOSY is in a rest. This time, so to say, allows the user to do the actual measurement, whether it is a UV spectrum or a fluorescence spectrum. Use the software of your actual measurement device or analytical apparatus to adjust the time that is needed for your measurement there and synchronize it with the DOSTAL DOSY measurement time. Now in our case we put in 20 seconds and we press start. Here you see that the process of mixing is already undergoing, and you can imagine that we do now 10 steps as we have programmed before. Once the automatic titration is finished, your experiment is done. Another option that you can do is mixing. Mixing is really nice if you just want to make sure that your solution is well mixed and that the measurement device that you're using actually really measures a mixed solution as you would have wanted it. Also in the option mixing you can adjust the cycle numbers as you know from loading, and you can adjust the total volume that you want to use for mixing. The standalone mixing option also allows you to optimize the amount of mixing and the volume of mixing you need during your manual, but also during your automatic titrations. Titrations, as has been explained for manual and automatic titrations, can be done for piston 1 and also for piston 2. For piston 2 it works just the same as you have seen for piston 1. With this you have learned everything you need to know about mixing, titration, manual titration and automatic titration, and we will continue in the next chapter with cleaning.